Hi everyone, my name is Georgette True and I am the host of Fight CPS Real Talk with Miss G, and I have my lovely co-host, my talented, gorgeous co-host, Stacy.
Miss G, you throw out all the compliments, but really I listen to you.
You're awesome. I love you so much. We listen to each other. We give each other advice. But the first part of this show, we might have a guest later. She's trying to log in. But the first part of this show, why is my guest later? She's trying to log in. I have it on my phone. Okay, here we go. Let me turn it off. So the first part of this show is dedicated to a young man that I was speaking with today. Beautiful young man. I think he's probably in his 20s. And I just wanted to say give advice to family out there. This couple is going through separation and they have an infant together. And I want you guys to understand that when you involve grandma, grandpa on both sides and you complain about your spouse or what have you, they tend to call the police and involve, the police. And then when the police is involved, they tend to notify the Department of Children and Family Services because of that infant. Now, remember, when you have a disagreement with your spouse, it's a disagreement. We talk it over among each other. When you complain, and then you hear the influence of your mom and dad telling you to stay, bring the baby and stay with me and leave him, and he hasn't done anything to you, but you're going through the advice of your parents, do not involve the police and create chaos, even though it's family court, but it gets worse and worse and worse because when CPS is involved, it becomes a messy situation. Okay. I learned the hard way, even though my family taught me this, but anger is not from God. Anger is from, like, Satan is creating anger. When you get angry, that's not created by God. You create that anger. And then when you sin from your anger, then it becomes worse and worse and worse for you and your family and your children. So please keep that in mind. This is the message that I want to send him and his family, and I'm praying for both of them. Now we have our guest, Tammy. She just arrived. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
How are you, honey?
I'm okay. I'm good.
Stacy told me briefly about your situation, but I didn't catch everything because it happened just right before the show. And I would love to know your position in this matter when it comes to CPS. Are you the grandmother, the mother, aunt?
I am the maternal grandmother.
Oh, wow. You look good for a grandmother. You look good.
Thank you.
Go ahead and share with us without naming anyone. Please just share with us what's going on.
Unfortunately, my daughter was murdered by her husband. And she was doing a lot of the calling for help, and the police, no one was listening to her. So she asked if she can stay with me for a while, and I would take the children to school for her when I could. I did as well as what she asked me to do. So long story short, one morning she got up and I said, honey, I can't do it today. I need you to do it. Take the babies to work and I can probably pick them up. So she was hesitating, but she did it. She got up, and 5 minutes later, if that, I received a call from my neighbor.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I am so
Misty,
sorry.
the story. I've never met Tammy before, and my heart goes out to you so much. I've never met you, but that story of your daughter, I watched her video that she took to try and save herself. Even today, I think about that story all the time, and it still bothers me.
She tried to save herself and she made a video?
he was beating her violently.
And nobody did anything about it.
Can It's okay if I talk about it, Tammy, because you're here, and
Yes.
it is
Go ahead.
violent. It was a violent video. She videotaped when he was beating her. He took like 20 some full force blows to her in her head, and he was kicking her. He took her phone from her, took pictures of her while he was beating her, and tried to sexually assault her at the end when she was stuporous. And the police called that harassment, and they let him out
I'm sorry. What?
to
Oh,
murder her.
No, no,
yeah.
no. The police called it harassment.
And they let him out to murder her. And I'm a physician assistant, and I work in a psych ER, not ECMC. And he did the perpetrator deflective, make this story about him thing. Oh, I'm suicidal. And Tammy, correct me if I'm wrong, but and
You're right.
they took him to ECMC for evaluation of risk of harm to himself, but they forgot about others
Yes.
because he had been in prison before for kidnapping and threatening to murder somebody. And then there's this video that his wife took of him beating her, and they released him. And the wife, Tammy's daughter, was so convinced she was going to get murdered. She was wearing a bulletproof vest
Oh
at the
my
time of her murder, and nobody was helping her.
Mhm.
And then all the political people, they tried to say, oh, this is why you shouldn't have bail reform. This is not a bail reform case, and this is not for your political platform. This was undercharging a felony and letting a felon get out to murder his wife.
This is
Exactly.
why I hate people getting, having their 2 cents when they really don't know the whole story. And they think they give their opinion, which is idiotic opinion in my book. And this woman fight for help. Which police department was this? Please tell me,
Um,
Foley County.
Cheektowaga Police Department?
In Buffalo, like near Buffalo, New York, where I live, Miss G.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I was also told, I didn't know, and I don't think my daughter knew neither, that he was on probation at the time also. So I'm a little weary why he violated that also, and they let him right out.
Yeah, it's this whole bail reform thing. I am actually kind of in favor of bail reform in the sense that it's supposed to be non-violent misdemeanors. So it's somebody that did like a financial crime or something like that. This was nothing but violent.
Yeah.
This
He's
is
not going to
beyond
disqualify
violent.
him.
This is a demon. Like demons are. They did all this.
Yeah.
Like what I'm
So
saying is, this has to be more. This is.
the police and the judicial system, they made such fools of themselves because after he murdered her, they couldn't find him because they had let him free.
Yeah. It took about almost a good 2 weeks before they found him with the help of
The community.
outsiders, the community.
Okay, so does your daughter have children?
Yes. Yeah, he murdered her in front of the 3 children in her SUV truck.
And I think with a school bus nearby too.
It was. And that's who actually called the police because he ran and left the 3 children full of blood. And the mom, he just left them there and he ran. And
How old are the children, Tammy?
pardon me.
How old are the children?
At the time, the baby was 6 months. The other baby was 5, and the other little girl was 10. I have had them now for a year and 8 months. It has been since my daughter has been gone, 1 year and 8 months. And I am still fighting with CPS about me having custody, which is normal, of my daughter's children.
And that's why I wanted Tammy to come on today, Miss G, because I don't know the whole story. I just know tiny pieces, but it sounds to me like they're telling our natural maternal grandma here, on top of all the suffering she's already doing, that they are trying to tell her she needs to certify as a foster parent to be able to be with the children.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but
No,
that is
no.
some of the documentation I've seen.
Wait a minute now. You
Okay.
know, we discussed this on the show. I discussed this on the show for years.
Hmm.
CPS, when there's an infant involved, CPS main goal is to remove the infant, right? Put the infant in a foster home that wants to adopt. And then if the family members, none of them wants to be a foster parent, they will not place the children with, even though the law states family members first, meaning you're the maternal grandmother, you come first, actually, before the paternal even. Like literally the maternal to the mom, right, has to be considered, of course, and first priority, and then, of course, the others, family members and close friends and all that. Now, the reason they don't want you to have the children unless you become a foster parent is because without being a foster parent, they will not get the incentives from the federal government, right? Remember, they get more incentives when the child or the children are in a foster home. They cannot write on the paper that the children are with the grandmother. They have to call you foster mom. That's the God honest truth, and I'm telling you the God honest truth for a reason, because a lot of people are misled by that information. And since when do we have to be foster parents for our grandchildren? If you really think about it, I grew up in Egypt, right? I called grandma, grandpa, both sides. I loved both sides family, but I never once understood when I came here how the system works. The system is so broken in America that I am ashamed that I became an American citizen legally. I came here with a visa with my family, got approved, became citizens of America. And I remember my father and my mom, when they were sworn in to be citizens, they cried. We came here legally, right? And when I've seen America in 1979, the way it was and the way it is now is completely night and day difference. There's a huge difference. America is so corrupt right now that all they care about is money. There is no God involved, of course, in their eyes. All they care about is money, and they destroy children and their families because of money. See, money is important to pay your bills, but when you love money more than you love godly integrity and character, then you have demons possessing you, and they're using you as a little puppet. Because again, why does a grandmother have to be a foster mom? A grandmother has to be a foster mom to get her grandchildren. I have never understood that until I was told by a very important people that understands the system as a federal judge of my friend's dad, and the two young ladies that I know who were social workers who resigned from the department. They educated me a great deal on how it works. I blame Bill Clinton. I blame Hillary Clinton. I blame the whole Clinton family. And I blame the Democrats for all this bullshit. I really do, because I know deeper in what they're doing. The Democrats are using the system. The state and the county need to make money. They love the money coming in. Nancy Schaefer spoke about it, and I keep telling you about this. Nancy Schaefer, who was the senator for Georgia, lost her Senate seat because of the exposure about the Department of Children and Family Services, and she exposed the Clintons for what they're doing. So, again, I am ashamed. I'm ashamed that I actually live in a country where there is absolutely no remorse to family. There is no compassion. There's no common sense. There's absolutely zero protecting the American people. Your own country is failing you guys, and you live and you pay taxes and you pay their salary. And I will never, ever, ever, ever understand this. America, you failed the American population, and shame on you for even celebrating 4th of July every year when you know you failed your people. I am ashamed to even be here right now because of Tammy situation and because of everybody else's situation that they have to deal with the state and county. All over the United States of America, you guys are a disgrace, and you guys are literally like, you guys are worse than waste. The waste that we flush the toilet after we're done, you guys are worse than that. Literally worse than that. And I am appalled. This woman is fighting for her grandkids. She lost her daughter who cried out for domestic violence to be protected. The police department failed her. The state failed her. The county failed her. And you guys have the audacity to send money, billions and billions of dollars to other Ukraine, for example. And everybody's fighting for that, but you fail to see what you guys are doing to your own people, American people who are paying for you to remain in that seat, to keep doing your own corruption over and over again. That, to me, I'm disgusted by it.
Yeah, it's very upsetting what's happening to Tammy and her family, and as a human being and as a medical provider, both. I think of this story. I think it comes up in my life probably once a week. You know, whether I'm caring for someone or there's, you know, because there was so many other things going on during the time of her daughter's death too, of Kira's death. ECMC had one nurse to 50 patients in their psych ER or their psych unit at that time. And that to me was just recklessness.
It's beyond recklessness.
And then there's this other issue right now that's bothering me, and this is the reason it came up to my mind just the other day. You were saying about how people in their family, they shouldn't fight because then they bring in the police and things and they're inviting a whole mess. Well, another woman who was fighting to protect her children from abuse.
This is different. Now, let me elaborate on that.
Please listen.
No, you listen. Let me elaborate on that. When I said do not involve the police, that's when there is no domestic violence.
Right.
There's no proven domestic violence, but there's just verbal disagreement. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
All right. So this woman, she's trying to fight to protect her children, and she's very vocal, and she's been exposing a lot of corruption. So the corruption is retaliating on her. So this woman's sister, her husband called and had her falsely admitted into the psych ward at ECMC. Now, the difference is Adam Benefield, the murderer in Tammy's daughter's case, he has this whole established history, his prior, incarceration for kidnapping, for threatening to kill other people, and then the wife's video of being beaten and her communicating that she's in fear for her life, right? They released this guy. But now when a marital situation is exploiting a woman's vulnerability because she's exposing corruption, now she's the one that they are keeping in the psych unit. And she has no prior history of mental health. She has no prior history of threatening to harm to herself or others. No prior psych admission, no, substantial arrest history or anything. But they're keeping her, but released Benefield.
I have heard a lot about these stories, and where women are really being locked up and they don't have mental health and they keep medicating them.
Yeah, they're trying to force medicate this woman over her objection.
Mm-hmm.
But now what do we do? Because the real reason I wanted Tammy on the show was because I wanted to help her. I'm worried that this is what the system is doing. Is I think one of the things that just happened is they told her that she didn't finish the paperwork timely enough, so she has to restart all this foster paperwork. And they're going to say, well, she wasn't interested because she didn't, she wasn't even timely with it. And it's foster paperwork. She's not a foster. She's kinship.
Right. Tammy, no matter what you do, honey, even if you complete the foster paperwork, if you the first thing that social workers are going to do say is that you failed to protect your grandkids, that you knew all about it all this time and you failed to take them and protect them. I don't know if you heard that from them yet. Okay, but I know for a fact that's what they say to all grandparents, that you failed to protect. And that's why, because first of all, if they wanted you to have the children, you would have had the placement of the children while you're doing all the paperwork. Okay, that should not stop them from giving you the children.
Do you have placement of the children, Tammy?
Yeah, I have the children.
Oh, okay.
Um, I'm walking the walk with them since day one. I cooperate. I done lost my other job. Um, I'm doing everything. They're up to date on their shots. They're in school. I go above and beyond. I got the baby in swimming and dance. She has a lot of activity. She's in counseling. Um, I'm up on everything. Everything is up to date. The challenge is from November to December, and then it was a big gap with the foster system. They said they're waiting on a whole bunch of paperwork, and they kept telling the family court judge they're trying to merge the case with the criminal, and the family court judge is upset because they're asking CPS, why is it taking Miss Hudson so long? And they keep coming up with different reasons.
Right.
I have I don't know. I have a lawyer, but she's the one that just sits in the back and listens. And right now she's like, something stinky is about the situation. I think she's like a pro bono lawyer, one of the assigned counselor lawyers. But no one's standing up saying anything. The time went by because of them. Every time we have court, it's dismissed, it's dismissed, it's dismissed. So I can only proceed so much. And then I think maybe 3 weeks ago, the lady was in my house and she started saying, maybe you need to put these cords over here. Maybe you need to do just nitpicking little things. I'm like, I did everything. What do you want me to do? Okay, I'll go over there and fix the cords. Next. And they're like, and then I received a letter out of the blue saying, well, your time ran up. We asked you nicely. I'm going, I did everything.
But wait,
So I have a witness that I did everything, and I document everything, and I have people watching me, and I call for my jobs all the time. I'm doing everything that they want me to do.
right. And I understand that part. But again, they want the children. They want the children, and they're going to come back at you with excuses. You failed to protect the children. You're doing this wrong. They were being nice, all that. And it's hearsay when you say the truth, right? In court,
Yes.
it's hearsay. But when they say the lies, it's not hearsay without any evidence. See, their burden of proof is on the social workers. What people need to understand, and this information came from Attorney Davis himself, the burden of proof is on the Department of Children and Family Craft Services. They're the ones who have to show proof that you are capable. They have to show evidence and proof to that. But again, when it comes to state court, they go by what the social worker's recommendation is. Okay? And that's
Okay.
why they don't want you, they don't want to give you the children, because right now they're just prolonging this to find a suitable home that wants to adopt all of them.
Tammy, are there other suitable family members as well? So if you say 25 other people are willing to take custody, that they can't nitpick away one or two, there's no way that they can nitpick away 25 people who are willing?
25?
Or
I mean,
more.
like,
Even
get as
anywhere
many
in the
people-
world. Anywhere in the world.
Well, yeah, I can reach out to anywhere in the world. Yes.
Yeah, get lots of people that are willing to take custody. Of course, you primarily want it, but what they're trying to do is nitpick you away, because if you're the only one standing, they only have to nitpick away one person, where the cords are in your house or where they're not, then they can nitpick you away and say, oh, she's not suitable. Okay. So if you have lots of other people say that they are willing to take custody of this child if Tammy cannot, then they can't get that child into foster care, because then they'd have to nitpick away 25 people, which is a lot harder to do. And I'm going to tell you right now, valid scientific research on this issue is children thrive better when kept in their family.
Yep.
And I'm also going to tell you, in New York State, and I know this is a fact, and I'm going to supply this to you, New York State considers kinship members, you're the natural grandmother, but they consider family members also to be even a next door neighbor, a godparent, anyone with a substantial relationship with the family. So when you're looking for this pool of people to include, for them to just say they want to take custody if Tammy can't, you can even include next door neighbors, you can include godparents, you can include close friends to the family. It doesn't have to be blood.
Okay.
That is true. But remember, your attorney has to submit this as evidence, because if it's just a verbal communication, they're going to deny it. And that's why the attorney has to act on it. But if you have a pro bono attorney, that pro bono attorney doesn't work for you. Her loyalty is not to you.
Mhm.
That's why
Yes,
they don't do
yes,
anything.
she's through assigned counselors.
Mhm.
Yeah. She has been standing up for me and emailing them letters saying she has did everything. She has even went above and beyond and came out to my house personally and brought me stuff to wrap the cords up. She walked around. She saw the rooms. She said there is nothing wrong with this home at all. And she emailed that to the foster lady who was denying my application after 8 months of hell. She said, what's the problem? And then when she texted her, emailed her back saying, the problem is she didn't submit everything on time. And she goes, and then she hit her back with an email saying that the courts have delayed it and you guys have delayed it. And she requested a hearing with them for me. And then I received a letter. I had spoke out with, I want to say Mr. Howard Johnson, the Erie County legislator, this guy here. And he said, absolutely, they're doing me wrong. And he would try to also reach out to them. And then I received a letter from the county, from Erie County, about if I would like to reapply, they would need a required time frame for the paperwork, which, and that they would want an evaluation and a conversation to be held with me regarding a history of, which was I think 12 years ago. They said something about a CPS charge, which I know exactly what they're talking about. I don't have a perfect life, but I have a perfect life now. You do one thing in life doesn't hold you, captive for life. But my children were acting out as a young age, and I did what I was told to do, was to go downtown and put them on pins, which means to help me out. So I did that. They were acting out. But I guess that little incident is like really, to me, unbelievable. And that was years ago. I received a paper from up in Western New York. I think it was, I'm not quite sure because I don't want to be wrong with the name, but wherever the headquarters is, they said that it was, it didn't have anything to do with this case. So like my job and everything that they like, that has nothing to do with this case. I do home care. I've been doing home care for 6 years. I don't abuse no one, and I didn't abuse my children. I have to, Like the police can kill them. I didn't put my hands on them. I went downtown to get help for them.
Yeah.
There was another incident in 2008. And then, so it's 2008 and maybe.
Oh my God, Stacy, this story,
It's,
we can
this
win a
is like,
lawsuit like this. I mean, I am not joking you. The
It's on-
Department of Children and Family Services can be sued. And I'm telling you right now, any attorney who is a civil attorney would love to have this case. And I'm not joking you, Tammy, from what I see, what you showed me right now, what you're telling me, and also the court appointed attorney that you have. Is that through the county of your county, or is it through the family law court?
I'm not quite sure because it's assigned counselors. She's involved, but she says she can't get too much involved. If that makes sense, I don't know.
Yes.
It's like I'm walking this walk. This is a big old dream to me. I was thinking I was going to wake up, but
Miss G,
this is
I-
really real, and I'm starting to feel it more and more, especially when I'm nervous wreck. I'm at work, don't know if they're gonna go to the school, grab the babies. Like, why are you? They're safe. Mind you, I forgot to leave this important part out. I already had temporary custody in 2019, all the way up until 21. That's when the CPS worker came in my backyard and said, "Oh my gosh, we just did a half a background check on him, and we found out he kidnapped a girl in his mother's basement." And I said, "Oh," I said, "Are you going to return the kids?" They said, "As long as your daughter does this menu, she can have the kids back." She said, "But she needs to not go with him." She ended up marrying him. And after she married him, I thought they was going to say, "Okay, now you took it too far. You married him. Now the kids have to stay with grandma." But she said she brought it up in court, and the judge said, "Let her have her kids back." They gave me a call, no notice, and said, "Hey, give the kids back tomorrow." I'm like, "What?" I said, "Okay, not a problem." Got the kids, gave them right back. Right after I give them back, look what happened.
But if they wait, what?
Yeah,
What?
I had the kids. They took the kids because they said she was drinking around her babies. So I got off work at 9 o'clock at night, and I get a phone call, and they said, "Hey, can you come over to the house? We with your daughter. This is CPS." I said, "What's going on?" I rushed over there, and they said, "Just need you to take the babies for one night and let her sober up." I said, "No problem. I'll call off work." I did that. A week later, they subpoenaed me into court. I stood up, and they said, "Grandma's willing to take the kids." And I'm looking like, oh, okay. And I took the kids. They set me up, and I took the kids, and I had them through COVID. And she was working on her menu. And I don't know that. I never met the guy. And then next thing I know, they gave him back to her after they said they found out that he had kidnapped and held a girl with a gun to her head in his mother's basement. They said they will present that to the judge. And it's up to the judge if if the kids return to mom. The judge heard about the situation and said, "Oh, give the kids back." They went back, and I want to say 9 months later, he murdered her. And now they're back in my care, and now they're putting me through all of this mess when I'm grandmother. I never did anything to those babies. I always have them. And to mentally, my baby, she's 6 now, she is so destroyed because they separated her older sister right after her mom passed. So her mother left her, now her sister left her. So I just
But
have the two.
the older sister is not adoptable. See, that's why they separate them.
They separated them and gave them to dad, and dad wasn't in the picture. He was living in a group home with men, and they gave her to him and said to shut the door and put her in the bed, and he'll lay on the floor. And then 2 months later, so I'm a nervous wreck because she's around those guys. 2 months later, they put him in an apartment and said, "Here's your baby." But they haven't gave me anything. I've been hustling. I bought beds, Pampers. I'm working. I get the counseling. They go to school. They go to the doctors. They go to
And
dance. They go to swimming.
and they
And
care
and
about
they're
where
bothering
cords,
me.
and they care about where cords are in your apartment. But they
Yeah, that's what my lawyer said. Really, courts? And I said, yeah,
Course, yes,
courts.
but not sleeping with men. A lot of different men on the floor. I mean, what?
Yep,
Again, integrity, character, none. They got everything good.
yep.
CPS, you are scumbags. I want to cuss you out so bad, but I'm honoring God right now, and I'm telling you, you guys are worse than poop. You guys are cock a head in the head. You guys are the worst of the worst. I despise you. I truly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, hate you. And I know hate is bad, but I hate your demonic actions. Maybe not you personally, but the demons in you. I despise you. I resent you, CPS. And the courts, shame on you. How can a judge say to them, "Well, I don't understand why they're taking so long"? Well, you're the damn judge. You're the judge. You're wearing the black robe, right? You're wearing the black robe. Make a decision that is right for the children, but you are taking your sweet time. You know the answer to your question, but you do not want to address it because you know that CPS is giving you money, making you money, that is, making you money, right? So therefore, instead of you asking what's taking so long, if you really want to get to it, you need to address the issue with CPS and make an order.
Miss G, I'm still stuck on how old is this child that they sent to live at a group home with the father, and she
I
sleep
think
on the bed
10.
and he sleep.
She at the time she was 9, 10,
Yeah, 10.
10. She was 10 because it's only a year and a half and she's 11. So she was 10 years old, and
But she couldn't be with you. She had to be at the group home.
yeah, she was with me because they were living with me. I was helping my daughter hide out and take them into school, doing what a mom does. And when the incident happened, it was worldwide and on the news. He saw it, the father, who's halfway in her life. They weren't getting along, and she married and moved on, and you
But
know,
he's in a group home
and
with
then
only
he just
men there.
come out the blue, start talking to the news while I'm in the house, and and played me and said, "Can she spend the night?" And I looked at her. I said, "Do you want to go with your dad?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'll go with him and spend the night." I said, "Okay, make sure you come back." She never came. She did come back, and then after she came back, when we had court the following 2 months later, he showed up in court, and the judge specifically told me, "Fathers trumps grandmothers all day," and the word "Trump" came out her mouth, and I said, "Of course I understand, but if I've been there from day one, and father has been in and out and lives in Ohio, why is that possible? He can stand up now and take her. Not only now, he should have gave me her grievance time to be with her sister. They are like this, and now they are like this. And the baby lives in Ohio, and she cries for her sister because that's all she had. And so now I get visitations. In the summertime, she's supposed to come down, I guess, for like a few months and go back. She's here now, but she's going back early due to dad said she have to spend time, some summer activities with him.
Miss
What
G,
activities? He can't even afford to live. What
So
activities? Where is he getting the money for the child's activities? He can't afford a place of his own. What activities, I'm going to ask, that the father has for that child? I would like an answer to that. See,
Miss G, Miss
I,
G, I have office space in
I
town.
have to come. Let me go ahead and talk. I have to remove myself for a second.
Miss G is that upset.
I understand.
And we're not even you, and we're this upset.
Right. And I mean, I'm only not fighting them. I'm still fighting justice for my daughter.
I hope you can get Mr. Davis.
I
I
hope
was
I
saying,
can. Yes. I
I was just
mean,
saying, I was just saying to Miss G, I have office space. Why can't Davis come up here too? He's a California attorney though, but this is my heart goes out to you. Like I said, I think of this case like once a week. I never met you before, but I don't know what it is. I mean, I watched the video that your daughter made, and maybe that just keeps sitting in my brain, you know. Um,
yeah, they won't even use that in court
it,
because they told me
of course,
because she's not here to testify that that's her page, even though it's her page and everyone knows it. But because in court they have to do a certain procedure for court, and she has to be there present to testify. Because she can't testify because he murdered her, so they had to throw it out. When the video is what triggered everything, that's important.
Miss G, this story just goes from upsetting to more upsetting to more upsetting.
Okay, yeah,
The
but she's
barometer just keeps
saying,
going up.
but do you understand that she just said that the court? Okay, there's a video. There's reports made. But yet they neglect the video. They say the mother's dead, deceased, and we can't use it. And then they send the child to a father who's living in a group home and getting him housing. And they're talking about the grandmother who had 12-year record of nothing bad other than protecting her children and following the law as reporting it. But yet they're using that against her, but they're not using what the father of the child did. They're not using. See, this is why I say they're I can't
No,
talk. I can't make sense right now, but I'm trying to.
right. Me
I
too.
know
Me
it's
too. The family were like, huh? We're the same way. And we're the same way. I don't understand. And I even asked the ladies, why don't you guys go after him in court and come to court with me and sit and hear the stuff? They don't want to do it that way because they don't want to bring the police in and some witnesses twice. They don't want to do criminal and mislead and then do family. So they're saying to nip it in the butt, let's go family, which is me, dog me, make sure Tammy gets the children. That's what they said, children. Once she gets the children and be foster, it eliminates his rights. Because right now he still has rights. I don't even understand that because if I go still in at Walmart and they pull up a video, but I don't understand.
right.
You know,
So,
If he had rights to his daughter, he would make an effort to see his daughter. If he had rights to his daughter, he wouldn't be in a group home, right? He would be busting his ass to make a living, right? To show
right.
that he's able to care for this child. But the reason he didn't do that when the mother was alive, so he can avoid paying the mother child support.
Child,
That's why
exactly.
big
But
dads do what they do, but yet they still get the child at the end and neglect everything else the father has done in the past, but yet separate the child from her family, from her siblings, especially after the mother died, for God's sakes. This is abuse worse than you freaking beating a child. This is worse than beating a child. This is mental abuse. That's what the system does. Mentally abuse the children and then blame it on the parents. But this time, I'm telling you, all the time, actually, not just this time, I blame the Department of Children and Family Services. May God have mercy on your dark, demonic souls, you idiotic fools of humankind. You guys literally don't deserve the title human. You deserve the title demons. You are the demons of this earth. You are truly, truly bankrupt from yourselves. I despise the sight of you. I see you and
Tammy,
I want to spit on you. This grandmother deserves justice. This grandmother, I actually like this case. I really like this
Tammy,
case. And I need
Yes.
you.
Tammy,
I need her to be with Attorney Davis. I will invite him to the show, and I want you to come back. And I want Attorney Davis to listen to your story. And I would like to have that video that your daughter did. I want to have it. I want to have it. I want to have it. I want to see the letters that you have from the legislative office. I want to see every card that you just showed. Right. I want to see everything. Stacy has my email
Yeah.
address. I want you to
Okay.
email it to me. In the email subject line, I want you to put Tammy. I want you to put your full name and then mention that you were on the show. I want.
Tammy, I want to tell you.
I need this.
Tammy, I want to tell you a little bit another case that we court watched, and there's a reason I'm telling you this story, okay? And it's going to
Okay.
help you understand a little bit how they are gaslighting you in the courts. So, I was asked to become involved with a case where a father lived out of state, and the birth mother died. She did a drug overdose, and the children were actually in bed with her when she died. And a neighbor down the street who is a pedophile used this mother's death as an excuse to go capture his victims. So when the father found out the location of his biological daughters, he told this person, "I'm coming to get my girls." And he didn't know at the time that this guy was a pedophile. He just said to me that he knew that there was some problem. He didn't know exactly what it was. He said he was coming to get his girls. And the stranger says, "No, I put in a petition to court for custody." Erie County CPS and the judge knew this stranger to be a pedophile, and they forced the children to stay in custody with the pedophile stranger the whole time, such that when I met the father, he was only allowed phone calls to his girls once a week for about an hour. And that was the judge's ruling.
I don't
And
understand that.
right, so what I'm trying to tell you is judges do what they want to do. So there is no reason to send that child to the group home with the father, because they do what they want to do. So they were keeping the children in the custody of this guy that they knew to be a pedophile. So when we went to court, and the natural father really didn't know the history of this guy, when we went to court, the judge says, "I know you. I'm the one that put a restraining order on you for sexually abusing these girls in the past. How did you get them now?" Well, the answer to that was she was the one that ordered them to stay there.
Not paying attention.
I think it's worse. I think it's more sinister.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things that you can also do to help yourself, whenever you have court hearings, I'm happy to come and attend too. You need court watchers in the courtroom so the judge knows that other people are watching. And I do want to connect you with Mr. Davis, and I hope that they do take your case.
I hope so.
You need justice. I think of you. I think of your daughter all the time. And what I knew was bad enough, and what I learned today was even worse.
Yeah.
I want to personally. I have to be in court with him on Wednesday, and I would like to have all this before Wednesday.
Okay.
Which is tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I would like to have that today. I don't know how long the video is, but if you can,
I have it, Miss G.
You
I
have
have
the
it.
video? Can you email it to me? Is it possible to get it emailed to me? Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
You can email it to me. That'd be great. And then let me discuss it with Davis on our 3-hour ride, and then
Okay.
that should be giving me enough time to talk to him about it, and then we'll go from there. Now, I would like to invite you back, and I'm gonna talk to him about being on the show on Thursday, hopefully, if he says okay. I have to check his calendar. But
Okay.
he on the show actually Friday, or maybe Friday or Thursday. Grace will let you know which one he agrees on. Okay,
Okay.
and then we'll go
Thank
from
you.
there.
I'll help with
Tammy,
the case too, Miss G.
huh?
I'll help with the case too.
Yeah, of course. You're my girl. Yeah. You're my rock. You're like my literally my
Well, you know what?
backbone.
I'm Tammy's girl too, because
Yeah.
what happened to her family is a disgrace, like you said.
To everyone in America.
Mhm.
I seriously have issues when it comes to other Americans who are so dumb, who actually don't know what's going on. They're so unaware, but yet they have a stupid ass comments to make, giving us their 2 cents when it's not even worth a penny. It's not even worth a penny to me because they don't know what the system is doing. But yet they have the audacity to fight for, we want Ukraine to have money. Well, okay, well, go ahead and be homeless then. You know, go ahead and keep striving to make a living while Ukraine has the money that you think is right to do. Well, if Trump gets elected, Ukraine is not going to get money. Well, hell yeah, Ukraine is not going to get money. Why would we send them money? Exactly, and neglecting your own people, but yet you guys are focused on this BS crap, right? BS crap rather than seeing what's happening to Tammy and other family members who are Americans.
Yep.
Americans.
Yep.
Americans. Okay? So to me, you guys are the dumbest crap or demonic rats, right? I'm going to keep calling you that because I used to be a demonic rat just like you until I wised up and I realized that I was wrong. You guys need to do your due diligence and start researching what the government is doing to children, what they're doing to family members, for God's sakes. The system's not designed to work. The system is designed to fail you, and you're paying for that fail each and every second of every day. You're actually paying for their salary, for God's sakes. You guys are the dumbest crap I've ever met in my entire life who keeps voting for a Democrat because they're Democrat. But your eyes are so blind to see what they're doing, right? Inside the circle, inside the box, because you're so blinded and idiotic to actually vote for the right party. But again, that's just, I know too much. I know exactly what's going on. Stacy knows a lot of what's going on. I would rather have a convicted felon who is innocent as president than Biden and his little laughing cow, Camilla Harrison, to ever take office again. And let me just say this. I mean every word of it. And if you don't agree with me, I don't give a crap. But Tammy, again, I'm going to invite you back. And damn, that's literally the worst story I've ever heard
Yeah.
this year. This year. I mean, I've heard a lot of bad stories, but this one, by far, they're picking on chords, but yet they're sending a child who's innocent with a group of men in a group home. Weird. So weird. So weird. So weird. So weird. I'm not sorry because I got mad. I I take everybody's story as a smile, being honest with you, because it hurts me in my gut. My gut, my heart hurts when I hear that because the children are the most important thing to me. I, Adults can take care of themselves. I'm not really into the adults, really. I really don't care. I care about the children being with family. That's all I
Yep.
care about. I don't care about you guys. I care about them, and that's what I want to fight for. And that's what Stacy understands about me, knowing me, is the children that I care about. And I think Stacy is in the same bracket as me. The children is very important to us because
Yep.
as mothers, we know how important children are to the family, not to strangers, to family, because strangers see them as a register, a money register. Okay, but we, the family, see them as blood, as this is our own. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, I love both my parents. I didn't grow up in that type of, chaos. However, my dad always gave credit to my mother. Always give credit to my mother. And told you guys this a million times. My dad on Father's Day would make us go wish our mother Happy Father's Day because he was always working, providing. My dad was good at providing our needs. Okay, financially. He was good there protecting us. But my
Yep.
mother was our rock. She was his rock. She did more than he can ever do. That's how he explained it to us. So when I tell you guys, it is so important for parents to get it together for the sake of the children and give honor to the mother who got these children in this world. Give her honor and respect, fathers out there, and stop thinking with your lower parts. Start making God first, making your woman your queen, and the woman making her husband the king. And I'm telling you, if you guys can put God first, nothing can break that foundation that God put together. I'm telling you guys this, and I'm hoping that each and every one of you would listen to this because your children will suffer. Because when you go against God's will, you're literally walking the walk with Satan, and you're doomed for the rest of eternity if you keep walking that walk. And Tammy, may God bless you. May God bless your family. And I'm hoping somebody can listen to this message before it gets to the hands of the Department of Children of Demonic Services that we have in the United States. Okay?
Tammy,
Go ahead.
I just, Tammy, you've gone through the ultimate suffering, and that's hard enough to process in and of itself. And I want to make all this unnecessary extracurricular stuff that they're trying to add onto your suffering go away. And I want to see you and your grandbabies home and recovering
Mm-hmm. Tammy,
together.
I'm sorry
And I
too.
want to help you with that.
Yeah.
And when I help, my help is from my heart. I don't charge for my help. The reward for me is to see your family doing better.
Yep. Actually, the reward is to see the children be with you. And
Right.
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
that's the
you.
reward. And that's
Right.
the reward when you see that CPS failed. That's my reward. See, I take it personal. CPS knows how I feel about them. It's personal. You guys might not understand, but Stacy understands. This is personal to me. The way to see them fail is to make sure the children are returned back home. To me, that's, and I would sit back and I wish I had a cigar with me last week when Davis won a trial. I wish to God I had a cigar because I would put that cigar in my mouth and cross my leg in the courtroom and say, "Yep, another one." That's exactly what I would have done. But I'm telling you guys,
Mr. Davis,
yeah, he
Mr.
won.
Davis, if he comes to town for you, Tammy, he does a very good job.
He really does. And it's not that I'm bragging. It's more of I see him in action. That man triggered the perpetrator on the stand to the point where that perpetrator lost his damn mind, reacted
Wow.
in ways that the two sheriff officers had to stand to protect Attorney Davis from him. So what
Yeah.
I'm trying
So
to tell you, he was doing it so calmly. I was so bored because when he speaks, he's so boring to me. Like not boring. He has a
he's
very
calm.
calm voice, not as like a stern, like soft, like calm voice. What I'm saying, he doesn't get loud. He's just
Okay.
mellow. But his words is worse than if he's loud. Like
But
his way of poking the perpetrator in ways the perpetrator reacts, and that's to me, it was outstanding outcome. Okay,
and you know what, Miss G? Tammy
yeah,
presents herself very well too.
I know, I can tell. I'm more angry. She's holding herself together, and I'm about to jump in the screen and hurt people. So what I'm thinking is, like, I seriously hate our government. I seriously hate our
We
government.
love our country, but the
We
government
love
is
our
so
country,
messed
but I
up.
hate our government. I love
Yeah.
America, don't take me wrong, but I haven't celebrated 4th of July since 2009 because of the corruption.
Okay.
The corruption in this system is so corrupt. It's just, I can't imagine somebody can be that evil. I can't imagine somebody can be that evil. I didn't know what my mother meant when she said that the devil's work, right? But the way we fight the devil is through prayers. That's what protects us from the firing darts of the enemy. The
Yeah.
prayers.
Yep.
God,
I pray.
God's armor. Right. My mom taught me that.
Me
I
too.
thought as a child, I thought it was the devil's work back in the day. Like when he was in the
Tammy,
Bible 2 years ago, 2,000 years ago. I didn't know as a child that she meant now until I lost my parents and I realized I had to face this demonic world alone, right? My mom
Yep.
was my comfort zone, lost her. My dad was my protector, lost him. And I'm like trying to find myself. But every word that my mother said was 100% on. This world is so demonic. Demonic.
Tammy, just so you know, because you've never met me before, and this is your story, but I just want you to understand the place that I come from and my heart and why I care to help you too. Because I when you go through suffering and then you have the ability to spare somebody else, it's healing actually for me too, right?
Okay.
So I filed for divorce in 2013 to protect my children from abuse, and I was naive to the system. Um, and my ex is an attorney, and he was an attorney for CPS. And my kids disclosed the ultimate abuse, physical and sexual, violent strangulation, sexual abuse, and everybody covered him up and gave him custody. And we live in the same town.
And
So my dedication to you is pure from my heart because I've been through suffering too, and I care to spare you from your, you're not. It doesn't bring your daughter back and the suffering that you go through with that, but this additional stuff is unnecessary and it's wrong.
yeah,
Right. I'm
mine
so
is,
sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah. Stacy and I have similarity. My ex is a firefighter. He was having an affair with a district attorney that was handling his case. And then his aunt is a Department of Children and Family Services supervisor, and his mother is an attorney. And the same judge that took over my case is the district attorney at the time's best friend.
Oh,
And then that district attorney became a judge in 2012, and they were married a few months after our divorce in family court. So the point I'm trying to tell you is that this is some real ugly. This is like a personal vendetta between me and the Department of Children and Family Services. This is a personal vendetta between me and the state and the county, California state and the county of Los Angeles. And so far, I got two social workers that were on my case fired, and I'm working on the rest. And I'm coming back to the judge. And may God have mercy on your demonic soul as well. I'm telling you right now, I am not going to give up until I destroy each and every one. Everyone who destroys others, I will destroy them in Jesus' name. And I'm telling you guys, God is with me. God is with Stacy. And I'm telling you guys right now, we are warriors for God. And I'm telling you, don't cross us because we will come after you. You just don't know who we know. You have no idea who we know. And we're talking about higher up, baby. Okay? So remember that. We're talking about
Miss G,
higher up. I
I'm super.
despise them, Stacy. I despise them, despise them, I despise them. I can't stand the Department of Children and Family Services. I can't stand them. I don't even like Governor Newsom. He's gruesome. That's what he is. He's gross. He's gross. He's gross. He's gross. I'm telling you, our system, this system failed us 100%.
Miss G, I can't wait for Tammy to meet Davis.
I can't wait either. Yeah, I would like him to see this case. So just send me the email, Tammy, everything that I
okay.
need to see. And then I'm gonna discuss it with Stacy before I open the conversation with Vincent. Again, because you guys are so far from him, you know, let me just open the conversation to him and see what we can go from here. Okay.
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 All right,
And I'll
honey.
do whatever I can to support it too, Miss G.
Oh, I know you will. That's not even questionable. I know you will. And Stacy is gonna help you every way she can. And believe me, I have seen good results from her as well. Okay. Um,
Okay.
and the only thing is getting Davis to do this. She has it. She has it. Okay, we're gonna let you go, Tammy. We'll talk to you later, honey. Love you.
Okay.
All
Love
right.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Thank
Talk to
you.
you soon. Okay, bye
Okay.
bye.
Okay, so Tammy is she has a patient that we just I saw I saw a glimpse of, but yeah, guys, you're not alone. You're really not alone. You're not alone, and I mean, Stacy, you and I are wearing the armor of God. We're fighting a lot for these people, and we're making a difference. We might not announce it all the time, but we're making a difference. And yeah, they just don't know how, but we are.
We
CPS
are.
don't know. They don't know. They just don't know. I should make a commercial like that. They just don't know. How would they know? They don't know. How would they know? Never
I'm
cross
sure
a
they all
godly
know my
woman.
name.
You cross a godly woman, you're gonna have to reap the consequences.
I'm
Um,
sure they all know my name, and I'm sure they all know your name in your town, Miss G.
but they don't know how we're destroying them from within. That's all I'm saying. They just don't know how. I wish I
The
could win.
truth always has its way of coming to light. It's not always on our time agenda when we would like it to, but it always has its way of coming to light, Miss G.
The truth is already out, and that truth is already light for everyone. But it's the person, the ignorance of a people that don't want to see the truth.
All right,
Because
Miss G.
in America, lies are considered truth, and the truth are considered the lies.
What's right is wrong, is what's wrong is right now.
That's
I
in
have to go,
America.
Miss
I mean,
G.
I can only speak of Americans because I live here. But all I'm saying is that America, you're horrible. What you're doing to the American people, you're horrible. The government needs complete reform. They need complete change, everything around. Remove all this idiotic Democratic Party and like just remove them, man. Just stop voting for people just because they're Democrats or Republicans. Vote for the right person that actually has the foundation, not just a fake Christian. Okay, I believe Biden is a fake Christian. I really believe it. This man is a pedophile. I see his moves when he's touching little girls. He's a pedophile. He's a freaking pedophile. And his freaking as the governor, vice president, she can't even make a sentence together. Put a sentence together. All I see is her big, horse teeth, like smiling and laughing at what? You can't even make a sentence make sense. You can't even speak where I can understand you. I
All right,
have, I hate
I
this.
have to go. I love
I
you. I have to
gotta go too
go.
because I'm losing my mind. I gotta go.
Tammy had to go too. I gotta go. All right. Love you.
Love you more.
Love you most.